it's Olivia and welcome back to Live in Literature. Thank you so much for all the love and support I received on my last video, and if you have not seen it yet, do not forget to go on over to my channel to check it out.
And now, our feature presentation.
Okay guys, as promised, I told you a couple months prior that I was not going to have a wrap up for the month of April because I didn't read enough in that month. And so I'm combining the month of April and the month of May wrap up right now in this video. And so today's video is going to be my April and May wrap up for the month and what I read, and so that you guys can follow along with me to see what I'm reading and if you want to read it too.
And so that's really all I have. We're just going to jump right into today's video, so keep watching.
Today I have 6 books for you. We have The Bone Criers Dawn, Radiance,
Iolidon or Elidon, I still don't know how to say it, but it was a great book.
Realmbreaker, The Seventh Son, and The Jade Bones. And these are the 6 books that I read in the past 2 months. And you're probably thinking,
Olivia, this seems like a very small amount for 2 months of reading.
Fred, I've been thinking exactly the same thing.
Yes, I've been busy. I've had work, and I've had life, and whatever.
Well, maybe. You're just making excuses.
I don't know what's normal for a normal booktuber and what they should have read in like a month or within like 2 months. But anyways, this is the wrap up that I have, and I can't wait to share my reviews with you guys. The first book that I'm going to talk about today is The Bone Criers Dawn by Catherine Purdy, and this is the second book in the finishing of a duology series called The Bone Criers Moon. So here's the first one. Bone Criers Moon was the first book in this series. This is the second one, and I just finished it. And I'll be honest, when I finished the book, I was kind of expecting more.
I want more.
And I'll be honest, I was underwhelmed.
Why isn't anyone ever just whelmed?
I know, like, what are you gonna do?
Not fair.
You say that so often.
I was very underwhelmed with this book. I thought it was just gonna be like bigger and more, and I honestly was very disappointed in the romance aspect in this book. Very disappointing.
What's the point?
It just felt very shortchanged. There wasn't a lot of depth to the characters and like their relationships.
It just all felt very childish and trivial.
All I'm saying is that I was just kind of disappointed in this book. It was kind of like, for me. If I'm being honest, Sabine's character, who is Elise's like friend, best friend or whatever, she was far more interesting in this book than Elise ever was. Like, I wanted to go way more into depth
into Sabine's character
and the relationship that she starts to develop with a certain person in this book. I won't say who, but you know what I mean. And I just was kind of like, I just felt very shortchanged in like the whole, like, in all of it. I felt like the plot, like she rushed through it. I felt like the characters didn't have any development. I felt like there wasn't anything like moving anyone to do anything. Like, it just felt very unmotivated. It felt like people just like didn't care anymore.
No, and I don't care.
It just was kind of like a last-ditch effort, like thrown together. I digress. I had a lot of opinions of this book. Overall, it was a fun read. I just was a little bit disappointed for its lack of depth, and for those reasons, I gave this book 2.5 stars. I know that's such a harsh rating. I have nothing against Catherine Purdy. I think that she like wrote an amazing, like, it's such an amazing concept. I just feel like this second book just like really let me down, and I was just expecting so much more from her. And so 2.5 stars is what I'm giving this book.
God, it's brutal out here.
Next, we're gonna be talking about 2 books in the same series, and it is written by this new author that I found on TikTok. Thank you, TikTok and Book Talk. It's where I find a lot of my book recommendations, and this one was specified for people who want
to read a little bit of spice,
but it's in a little bit of like the older section, like the new adult section. Yeah. And so we have the first book, Radiance by Grace Draven, and then we have her second book, Iolidon is how I'm going to pronounce it. If I'm pronouncing it totally wrong, correct me, but like, if you really care that much, like, I think you have other things bigger than the fact that I pronounce this Iolidon. To give you guys a quick plot summary, we have an arranged marriage book trope book. Yes, you know how I love a good arranged marriage. We have an arranged marriage between a human kingdom and one of the girls in there, and then a neighboring kingdom of this new race called the Kai, and they're kind of like this gray-skinned, like monster-esque, kind of like, I'm gonna call them like bat people.
I'm Batman.
But like, they don't look like bats, totally. They look more human. They just have like gray skin, and then they also like...
The number you have dialed.
They sleep during the day and they're awake during the night. And so I just kind of go like in my head, they're kind of like little like bat people, but they're not like bat people.
I'm Batman. I'm awesome. I got a 9-pack. I'm awesome.
So these two kingdoms, the princess Ildaiko and the prince Brushin, have to get married and to basically like secure like, you know, secure things, arranged marriages, all that junk between prince and princesses, whatever. You know how it goes.
All right.
Anyways, and basically it's just kind of like, it's a very like simple story. It's about these two people from totally, completely different races coming together in a mutual like arrangement and just learning how to live their lives together. And you might be thinking,
Oh, that sounds kind of boring.
and I'll be honest, it's not like the most exciting thing I've ever read.
Why did you do it?
Like, I read far more exciting stories, but it was kind of fun to just like have like a simple read. Like, it was a very simple concept, and the world building is very simple. We have different races of people, and we have humans, and like how do the two races like mix together in real life? Like, how do they like figure out their world together? What is it like for Ildaiko living amongst this new race? What is it like for the Kai to like share their life with a human? It's just like a whole new thing.
And like it's very much on the end of like court politics and like figuring out the intrigue of things. It's a lot less about like there's some doomed fate thing happening and we have to solve for it. It's very much about Ildaiko and Brushin's relationship and how they come to solve it.
Very cool. Cool.
And I will say for my younger readers, this one might be one you want to like wait till you're a little bit older to read. But honestly, the smut is the romance is very mild. I would say very, very confidently. The smut is fairly mild in my case. Tastefully done. It's lovely. I would say that this was a really like enjoyable read for me. Like I really had fun reading it. It's something that I haven't read in a while where like it's just super simple world building, really like fun characters that I'm rooting for, and just something that I really enjoyed reading. So this is definitely what I have to recommend. Radiance, I gave it 4 stars out of 5 in my review. And then we have the second one, Islodon. Now this one, like I said previously, you know how about the, like that big like world consuming, dominating, like evil presence is coming to get everybody kind of thing, and there's a lot of pressure. Bingo. Happens in the second book. I really enjoyed the story. Once again, it was like, it's fairly simple, like horrible world ending thing, have to solve the problem, still trying to figure out our relationship together as human and Kai, Brushin and Ildaiko, whatever. It's a fairly simple plot. I really enjoyed this one as well. I thought it was really well thought out. I thought that it had like really fun characters. I really do enjoy the characters in this book series. I think that they're really like mature, and I like that they like make grown-up decisions.
I'm very mature for my age.
I like that these people act their age. That's what I'm trying to say. I like that the characters act their age. It's really fun to read. And I really enjoyed this one. This one I gave 3.5 stars. I still thought the first book was stronger, but this one was still very interesting, cool world building, very simple though, and just like a fun, really easy read.
Easy, breezy, beautiful.
Man, I am not looking beautiful. Jeez, how long has it been since I've slept? I look exhausted. I need to go to bed.
And once again, we are talking about another series that I started this month. And unfortunately, this one does have a third book that has not been completed yet. The installment should come out. I don't know if it's this year or next year. I'm pretty sure it's actually going to be next year. But we have by Lonnie Forbes, The Seventh Son and The Jade Bones. The first book, The Seventh Son. So this one was I kind of wanted to read something totally new during my 2 months of reading. I was getting kind of bored by all the same stories. I was kind of like,
Yada, yada, yada. It's all the same, whatever.
This is so
These books are kind of based off of the Mayan and Aztec people, which I find this kind of culture very fascinating. So first, we have Prince Aken, who is the son of basically like the Sun people. He's the prince of the Sun people. He controls the sun. He can bend the sun. Also, I should mention that this is a very like people have powers in this world, which like super fun. I love when people have powers. It's great. We love a good magic system.
You have powers! Yeah, baby!
And basically his parents have died. This is not a spoiler alert because he tells you in the first 2 seconds, and he has to get married.
And so they take all of the first daughters or princesses or one of the princesses of every neighboring kingdom that controls a different element of power to come to the capital and basically like fight for the princess hand in marriage.
And one of those people is Princess Mayana. And her people is like water tribe people, so she controls the water, which is really cool.
And kind of like a Katara situation, kind of like a Katara and Zuko situation. Just think about that. Think about that for one moment.
Anyways, and Princess Mayana is very different because she doesn't believe in sacrifice. And
This is a time in the in this like kingdom's culture where like they're sacrificing animals and other like creatures and stuff during different months of the year to like bless the year, bless the crops, bless the people, bless fertility, whatever. There's a lot of like sacrificing things and blessing things. And it's all stated in like the big codex that they have for their world.
And Mayana does not believe in sacrificing any sort of living creature, human, animal, whatever it is. She doesn't believe in it.
There will be no sacrifices! Not now, not ever!
That is a big issue for her because she doesn't fully believe in the codex, and these people are like super like, you believe in the codex or you die kind of situation. And so when she gets to the capital, she has to kind of keep these things a secret and like fight for her life, but also fight for the prince's hand, and like things start going, and it's really interesting.
So yeah, this is kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, but meets The Bachelor, but meets The Hunger Games, but meets Mayan and Aztec people.
Wow.
Super interesting, super fun. This book gave me very much Road to El Dorado vibes.
Miguel and Tulio. Tulio and Miguel, mighty and powerful gods.
But anyways, I thought this was a really fun story. I'll be honest, the romance for me is way too fast paced. Like, it's not like
Look, I'm not saying everything has to be like an enemies to lovers slow burn, but there'd be nice if there'd be a little bit of burn.
Doesn't anyone love me? Isn't there anyone who cares about Sid the Sloth?
Just a little bit. Like, I'm just saying, like, some of these people just like, they're just like a lighter. They're just like, whoop, there it is, there's the flame. Like, nobody like stokes the fire anymore. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can we please just like stoke the fire, build a flame, like a roaring flame, instead of just like, whoop, pop a match, like pop a lighter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. It was still a fun read. I gave this book 3 stars out of 5. And then we have The Jade Bones, which is the second book in this series. And now I can't really talk very much about this one because it'll spoil lots of things that happened in the first book. But I will tell you that it was a really enjoyable read. We get a lot of focus on some other minor characters that we met in the first book in this book. And I actually really enjoyed reading about those minor characters. Because I'll be honest, in the first book, I was really annoyed with said minor character. You'll know who I'm talking about if you decide to read it.
One of the minor characters, I was kind of like, you're really annoying, and all you do is just like cry over everything. Like, I was just always annoyed at her. She was annoying.
Go away! That is so annoying!
And now I really like her. In this book, I was like, yes, love, you're everything. Like, thank you. Like, I love you. Like, yes. Like, I finally understand you. Like, this makes much more sense. Like, this book gives me, like, more.
And so, I'll be honest, I was actually rooting more for that, like, person and that character and her plot line over Akin and Mayana and like all the things that are going on with them in this book. I digress though. I gave The Seventh Son and The Jade Bones both the same rating. I both gave them 3 stars. So this one I also give 3 stars to. I thought it was a really fun read. I think that I'm really excited for the third book. The third book is going to be really, really good. I'm hoping that it comes out this year, but it might be next year. I can't remember when. But yes, it will come out soon and I'm really excited for it. And now, last but not least, my most recent read that I just finished, probably within the last week, that I want to talk about is Victoria Aveyard's Realm Breaker. Now, Victoria Aveyard is known very well for her Red Queen series. And it's a fabulous series that I haven't read. I know, everyone's gonna come for me in the comment section and be like, you
haven't read the Red Queen series?
You liar!
Look, this is what I'll say. I read the first book and I was really bored by it. There, I'll say it, okay? I was really bored by it. It was kind of, once again, targeted for a very strict, like, YA group of people. And I was just kind of too old to appreciate it. I read the first book. It was fine. But anyways, I told myself, because she's such a fabulous author, I had to give her another chance to prove me right. Show me, like, what is so special about you. And then she wrote Realm Breaker, which is a new series that she's starting. And I'll be honest, I was very intrigued.
I'm surprised.
It's very intriguing book. It gives me very much Lord of the Rings vibes. Very, 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 very much.
Legolas, what do your elf eyes see?
Okay, so basically, we have one of my favorite tropes is this book. Basically, we have a group of people going to do a thing, which I absolutely love. So we get a very diverse group of people here.
Our main focus is on our young protagonist, Corinne, who is a young girl at the edge of like this coastline town, who happens to have the blood of Cor in her, which basically means like her family is of like the old blood of an old forgotten like generation of people. She still has it like in her veins, which means that she has the ability to open realms or to break them, or like close the gates of realms.
Because I'm a shrimpy dork who thinks he's smarter than them. But I don't think I'm smarter. I just do the stupid homework. If everyone else just did the stupid homework, they could move up a grade and get pounded too. Is there any more coffee?
And now I can't really go too much into the explanation because all of that happens in here. But basically, we have a group of people on a quest to stop the realm from breaking. Shocker, realm breaker. Things that I really enjoyed about the book. I loved that it was very detailed. It was very, very detailed. It gave me a clear picture and description of like every location that these people went to. I absolutely loved the characters. I love that this is a very diverse group of people. Like we have a lot of age ranges like in this group that we have, and it's very fun so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the diversity of the age ranges in this group. My issues, I do have a few issues with the book though. My few issues are there is so much exposition in this book, like so much. Like I'll be honest, it did not get interesting until like halfway through, if not more.
I'm bored.
So I'm really looking forward to book 2 because I feel like book 2, like because we've gotten so much like intro exposition in this one, the second book is just gonna like jump us right in and we're just gonna like get down to the nit and grit of like this group of people going to do the thing. So overall, the book had quite a bit of exposition. It was very wordy, but it has like the start of a really great story. And so I'm really looking forward to book 2. I can only give this one 4 stars out of 5 in my review this month, but I'm hoping the second book is going to be a 5-star knockout read. Like I'm really excited for it. Well, that is all the books that I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for joining me. Unfortunately, we didn't have any 5-star reads in the past 2 months. I'll be honest, guys, I've been in a little bit of a drought getting a 5-star read.
Freeze! I'm thirsty.
Like nothing is like exciting me anymore in like the book world.
So if anybody's read something amazing in the past year that I need to read, please leave it down in the comments. I need a good 5-star read this year. Like I just need one. So please feel free to leave it down in the comments. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do not forget to give me a like, comment, and subscribe to the Live in the Literature channel, and do not forget to share this video with your friends. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!